Ever had one of those days where you just know it's going to be a story to tell? Well, buckle up, because David, an Uber driver from Atlanta, had a day that tops them all. This wasn't just another fare. This was a master class in staying cool under pressure. David's day started like any other. The sun was out. The traffic was, well, it was Atlanta traffic. He was picking up and dropping off passengers, earning his living one ride at a time. He prided himself on his professionalism, clean car, courteous service, and a 5-star rating he worked hard to maintain. Harun midday. Ego tapping, a pickup from a high-end boutique in Buckhead. He pulled up in his spotless sedan and waited. A few minutes later, a woman emerged. She was impeccably dressed, dripping in designer labels from head to toe, with sunglasses that probably cost more than David's weekly earnings. Let's call her Karen, for the sake of the story. She slid into the back seat, barely acknowledging him, already deep in a loud, animated phone call. David greeted her politely. "Good afternoon, ma'am." Heading to the airport, she just waved a dismissive hand, still engrossed in her conversation. He confirmed the destination on the app and started the drive. The first 10 minutes were filled with her side of the call, which seemed to revolve around a disastrous brunch and someone named Tiffany who had the audacity to wear the same shoes. Then, the call abruptly ended. The silence was almost startling. "My phone just died," she announced to the back of David's headrest. Her tone was sharp, as if this was somehow his fault. "I have a critically important international call in 20 minutes. I need a charger. Now." David glanced at his own phone, mounted securely on the dash. "I'm sorry, ma'am. I only have the one for my phone, and it's a different type. I don't carry a spare for your model." He said it calmly, professionally. It was a simple statement of fact. Her reaction was anything but simple. "What do you mean you don't have one?" she snapped, her voice rising. "What kind of Uber driver doesn't have chargers for their passengers? This is supposed to be a premium service." David kept his eyes on the road. "I do my best to provide a good service, ma'am, but carrying every type of charger isn't a requirement. I'm sorry for the inconvenience." "Inconvenience? This is a disaster," she shrieked. "My business deal depends on this call. This is completely unacceptable." "You're trying to scam me, aren't you?" David furrowed his brow, confused. "Scam you? How would I be scamming you?" "Oh, I know your type," she said, her voice dripping with venom. "You probably have a charger, but you want to charge me extra for it. Or maybe you're just enjoying this, making my life difficult. You're gonna make me miss my flight, and then I'll have to pay for a new one." It's a whole racket. The accusations were getting more and more ridiculous. David had been driving for Uber for 3 years and had heard his fair share of strange requests and complaints. But this was on another level. He was a good man, a father of 2, working hard to provide for his family. Being called a scammer stung, especially when the accusation was laced with such obvious prejudice. He took a deep breath, trying to de-escalate. "Ma'am, I assure you, that's not the case. I simply don't have the charger you need." "Liar," she yelled. "I'm going to report you to Uber. I'll have your job. You'll be deactivated by the time I land." "Do you have any idea who I am?" "I have connections. I'll make sure you never drive for any ride-sharing app ever again." The threats were serious. A deactivation could cripple him financially. He knew that Uber's support system could be a nightmare, often siding with the customer without a full investigation. Many drivers had lost their livelihoods over false accusations just like this. He could feel his heart pounding, his hands tightening on the steering wheel. It would have been so easy to get angry, to yell back, to defend his honor. But David didn't. He glanced up at his rearview mirror, making eye contact with their furious reflection. Then, he slowly, deliberately, raised his right index finger and pointed toward a small, blinking red light on his dashboard. He said nothing. He just pointed. The woman followed his finger. Her eyes landed on the dashcam, discreetly mounted but clearly visible. The little red light blinked rhythmically, a silent witness to the entire exchange. Her face went through a remarkable transformation. The rage dissolved, replaced by a flicker of panic, then a wave of pale, shocked realization. The color drained from her cheeks. The self-assured, intimidating woman from a moment ago vanished, leaving behind someone who looked small and cornered. The silence in the car was now deafening. The only sound was the hum of the engine and the faint blink of the dashcam's recording light. She had been caught, red-handed, in a web of her own lies and prejudice. There was no way to deny what she'd said. It was all there, recorded in high definition, video and audio. She slumped back in her seat, avoiding his gaze in the rearview mirror. She didn't say another word for the rest of the 20-minute drive to the airport. The tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. When David pulled up to the departure's curb, she practically threw the door open and scrambled out, not even bothering to say thank you or goodbye. As soon as she was gone, David pulled over to a safe spot. He took a few deep breaths to calm his racing heart. He knew he had to act fast. He ended the trip and immediately used the Uber app to report the incident. He explained what had happened, calmly and factually, and noted that he had the entire interaction on his dash. He uploaded the footage right then and there. He waited, feeling a knot of anxiety in his stomach. What if they didn't believe him? What if they deactivated him anyway while they investigated? Less than an hour later, he received a notification from Uber support. He opened it with trepidation. The message was concise. It said they had reviewed the footage from his dash. They thanked him for his professionalism and for remaining calm in a difficult situation. They informed him that the passenger's account had been permanently banned from the platform due to a violation of community guidelines, including making false accusations and threats. And then, a second message came through. It was a notification that Uber had credited his account with a significant inconvenience fee for the trouble he had endured. A wave of relief washed over David. He hadn't just been vindicated. He had been supported. His simple act of pointing to the camera had turned the tables completely. The Dashcam, an investment he'd made for his own safety, had just saved his job and his dignity. David's story quickly became a legend among other drivers in online forums. It was a powerful reminder of the importance of staying professional, but also of protecting yourself. That little blinking red light was more than just a piece of technology. It was a symbol of truth. It ensured that in a he said, she said situation, the facts could speak for themselves. It's a story about how a calm head and a small camera can be the most powerful tools against baseless accusations and prejudice. It shows that sometimes the best response isn't a loud argument, but a quiet, confident point in the right direction. David finished his shift that day not as a victim, but as a quiet hero who stood his ground without raising his voice. And that's a lesson we can all take with us. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Stay safe out there.